record this one. And then I'm going to also hit the share button. And I'm going to share. I'm going to share desktop 2 here. And let's see if this works out the way I'm hoping that it will. And it is. There we go. Okay, so what this video is today, kids, this is some doctors and some nurses. I'm gonna scroll down here and give you guys a little bit of a heads up on what this is. This first guy is a gastroenterologist. The next person is a homemaker. The third one is a surgical nurse. The fourth one is a physical therapist. Fifth one is a physical therapist. And then there's a church chaplain and a postal worker. And so these 7 testimonials here, I thought this might be interesting. And the reason I chose this morning is because I've got a nurse down in Texas who I ran into. Actually, she sent me a friend request, and I got into a discussion with her, and she's shown some interest in the water. So I'm going to try and be able to send her, a constant barrage of drips to, get her on board. And so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and hit play. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and expand the screen. And this is 16 minutes of pure awesome sauce. So, good morning, Steph. How you doing today, honey? Hope all's well. Okay, here we go. All right.
Introduced to me by my wife, who was suffering some back problems of her own. And what prompted me to try this water was the fact that over the past year or so, I've been having difficulty with my hands stiffening up. It's a form of spasm or carpal tunnel syndrome. With the Kangen water, after 2 weeks drinking this particular water, I started experiencing a tremendous amount of relief in both of my hands with loss of stiffness, especially in the morning. It certainly did help alleviate the discomfort and stiffness that I was experiencing in both of my hands, which I really, really needed in order to do the procedures that I do on a daily work basis. So the Kangen water has certainly done a remarkable thing as far as I'm concerned to my own personally, and truly a believer in this water.
I was introduced to the Kangen water. I suffer from problems with my knee. The joint area gets extremely painful. And I also have compressed discs in my lower back that have caused severe pain. I drank the water for a couple weeks and noticed that my knee was not in pain anymore. There was no popping. And also it has somewhat relieved the pain in my lower back. I can stand longer, sit longer, and it's done wonders to be able to drink something as simple as water and feel this relief. Has been great.
I was diagnosed with microcalcifications in my left breast in one of my routine mammogram in 2003, and was told to repeat the mammogram through digital magnification to confirm the diagnosis. And yes, indeed, it was microcalcifications. I have like 2 or 3 on my left breast, and I have to repeat mammogram every 6 months. 2 diagnostic mammogram and 1 routine mammogram. That makes it 3 in a year. And I was introduced in 2006 of November on Kangen water, and I tried that for 2 months and a half, and I canceled my mammogram that was supposed to be scheduled 2 weeks after I had the Kangen water. I rescheduled it again. I canceled it and rescheduled it for the following month to give Kangen water time to work on my body. And this was in November of 2006. And January of 2007, I had finally went through with my mammogram, and the result came back normal. So after 3 years of abnormal mammogram with microcalcification on my left breast, it came back normal on January of 2007. I was thinking that maybe Kangen would help me, and so I did try, and I was convinced that Kangen water really helped me with my microcalcifications, and I don't know how to explain that, but it just happened. It did. That's the changes that I experienced with Kangen, and I think you should try it.
I'm so excited to be introduced to this Kangen water. I believe this is one of the greatest gifts that was given to me. It's truly a gift from God. And this Kangen water was introduced to me by a friend who was diagnosed with cancer. And I was so excited to see the changes in her life. I've been suffering for 9 years of stress eczema on my thumb, which usually occurred during my menstrual period every month. But since I was introduced on this Kangen and I was taking for 3 weeks, I was so amazed that I did not have my regular stress eczema. Usually I develop abscess on my thumb. It is very, very painful. Usually it's hard for me to do my normal chores. But on that week that I had my menstrual period and I took three weeks of Kangen water, I did not experience that painful experience on my thumb. And also with my mother who's been suffering from diabetes, hypertension, and enlargement of the heart, like January, she even wrote me a letter that she said that she's dying. So she's telling me that she's going to die, and she's asking forgiveness for what she have missed in her life. But when I sent the machine to her, she started drinking water, and now her life is back. She's back to serving people again. She always goes to church. And when she called me, she's crying because this is the greatest gift that I have given to her. I said to her, it's a gift from God that you have to share also. I'm so excited that we are sharing it to other people, because we can keep to ourselves the gift from God. So we have to share it to you. I have a 2-year-old daughter. She is still in for regular baby formula, because every time I try to switch her to a regular milk, whole vitamin D milk, she always gets constipation. And when you see her crying, turning red because of pain, going to the bathroom, as a mother, it's so painful to see your daughter to do this. So we just skip her on regular baby formula. When I introduce her to this Kangen water, it changes everything. Now she can ask you, Kangen water, mommy, and she doesn't have any more constipation. Every day, regularly, she goes to the bathroom without any pain episode. And also to my grandmother, last January, she was given only 2 weeks to live because her heart was so weak already. She has to be on oxygen for 3 months. She has been oxygen dependent. But last week, when I called in the Philippines, that my grandmother is doing so well now, she doesn't need any more the oxygen. So I just grateful for this Kangen water. And it's truly a worth investment for my health, for my family's health, and for my friends' health.
As a young mother of two, this past, in 2006, May of 2006, I was heartbroken, and my family also, hearing the news that I had breast cancer. In 2006, I had surgery. I went through chemotherapy. Chemotherapy makes you really sick. And, you know, sometimes you feel like you're really, you know, no hope. I think after 2 weeks of chemotherapy in October, I was introduced by Dr. Nadia with this water, my family and I. They were talking about this water, that it would help, and that it has helped a lot of people who was undergoing problems, like different problems, that it might help me. When I start taking this Kangen water, it helps me tremendously. The tiredness, the fatigue, the aches on my muscles was diminished. I can smell, after chemotherapy, I can smell my output, my urine output, that it's really, really strong. And you can really, it's hard for you to smell it because it smells like hospital. The medicine is that strong. But when I start drinking Kangen water, the smell, you can really tell that the color of your urine changes, and the smell, you cannot really smell it anymore, the smell of the medicine. I started to be feeling much, much better every day just drinking through this Kangen water.
I see hope when I start seeing my wife feeling better and happier. This is truly a great investment for my family, since health is so important.
Give her a kiss. Sa cheek lang.
Yeah.
Did you hear me?
My name is Father Dacian Bluma. I am now 85, will be 85 years old this year. And I look at my life as being a real blessing. Now, at this stage in my life, I realize how God has been good to me and what a wonderful gift it has been. All the people I've met, all the things I've done, the places I've gone to. After my ordination, I went to Rome for my graduate studies and learned a great deal about the church, and it really brought me a great love and trust in the church. And then after that, I came back, and I was doing all kinds of work teaching in the seminary, and then I was administrator or provincial for our province for 6 years. And then after that, I was formation director of our young people. And after that, I went to Africa for 6 years and did some missionary work there. Came back and continued to work. So I really led a full life, and I feel very happy with it, grateful to God. Well, as it turns out, in the last 3 years, my health has been weakened somewhat. And about a year and a half ago, in October of 2005, I was diagnosed with cancer, colon cancer. And I had surgery, and all the cancer was removed, the surgeon said. But of course, there was some in the lymph nodes. And so he said, you know, unless you take some aggressive therapy, you're likely to have it return. I refused the therapy, knowing my age and knowing that I didn't want to become sick before I was sick. I wanted to have the chance really to continue what I was doing. So at the present time, I'm a chaplain here of the Sisters of St. Francis of Assisi of Perpetual Adoration. So I had the cancer removed, but now just March 26th, I received the results of a CAT scan. Tells me that cancer has returned at this time, both in the stomach area and in the liver. So that is what I'm dealing with now. I see a very marked difference in my ability to move around. I get tired very quickly. As much as I loved to celebrate Mass, I can no longer do that. I can't celebrate, but At any rate, I met Kathy, and I met some wonderful people, and her husband, and some wonderful people, and they introduced me to this wonderful water that I've been, Kangen water. That I'm saying it is a purified water that has been specially prepared, and it is shown, in fact, that over the years it has had a tremendous effect on people. I want to be one of those, to stand up or sit down and tell you that I really want to speak in favor of that water, and to say let's do everything we can not to add more chemicals to our healing process, but reducing ourselves to the simplicity of healthy, fundamental, and basic things in our life, like water. I'd like to encourage those who are looking for opportunities for not only healing, but for hope. Please consider the possibility of this Kangen water. Some of the medication that helps me with regard to pain has side effects that cause constipation. And this had been a really worrisome thing for me. I was wondering how I can get out of that vicious circle. I want some help, but in the meantime, I'm adding more problems. So this water was a great help to me because it helped relieve me from that constipation and that sense of being bound up. I felt that the water not only washed me clean, but as it does on the outside, but rather on the inside and in my own intestines and my own constipation. So I'm grateful for that, and I want to speak in favor of that as well.
Hello, my name's Joseph Yeager, and this is my wife, Lizelle. I'm a United States postal worker. I was diagnosed 7 years ago with heart disease and peripheral arterial disease. And 2 months ago, we bought the Kangen water machine. I had trouble with my legs. The fluids would retain in my legs, and I had to wear braces. After 1 month of the Kangen water, I no longer wear the braces, and my legs no longer fill with fluid. My wife, who suffers from migraine headaches.
If I have a monthly period. So when I start drinking for that, I did not feel migraine headache. So thanks the Lord for that.
So now our whole family drinks Kangen water, including our friends. They come over for water.
Yeah.
To obtain more information, contact the person who gave you this DVD.
All right, kids. I thought that was great. It's interesting because I had a guy come over and his wife to buy my generator last week. And I'll tell you what, the two of them, they remind me that seeing those last two people that were on there, the husband and wife, the postal worker, that right there, that is like a spitting image of the husband and wife who came over and bought my generator. And it's pretty cool because they were really interested. They took 4 gallons of water with them. And they own a restaurant in Wells, Nevada. And I told them, man, you guys, you're sitting on a gold mine. Not only are you sitting on a gold mine, but you know, Jeff, you really, really, really need this water because he's got the same issues that dude did. He's got really big problems with his legs, has a real hard time walking. He's in a lot of pain. He's overweight. You know, he's that last couple just reminded me totally of those two people. Guys, I'll tell you what, man, it is so amazing how God works. I don't believe in coincidences. I believe that things, he puts people and things and trials and tribulations into our lives for a reason. We have to figure out how to take advantage of those. And, you know, it's just really interesting. I got this golf course that's looking at turning themselves into a hydration station. And ultimately that was because I was just having a frustrating day, and I had a show going on that I was trying to prepare for, but I was just getting frustrated. And this golf course is like right by my house, like within 5 minutes of my house. And I'm like, man, I need to go over and get my mind off of this for a few minutes. I need to go over and just go do some chipping, just chip some balls up onto the green and then put them in and that kind of stuff. So I went over to this golf course, grabbed 5 balls out of my bag and a couple of clubs, and walked out to their chipping and putting green. And I just sat there and putted and chipped for about a half an hour. And then on my way out, I figured, well, maybe I should stop and talk to them and see if I owe them any money for you know, letting me do my chipping and putting. So I stopped in, and I just happened to get in a conversation with the owner of the golf course. And it started out as a political conversation, but ended up being something where he was totally interested in learning about how he could increase his foot traffic of his golf course. And so this golf course is right close to me. So I'm just going to keep on keeping on. I'm going to keep dripping on them. I love that concept, dripping on them. Try to drip on people, honey. All of you, try to drip on people. Don't, we get so caught up because we're all so passionate about this water. We want to like throw up on people. We want to gush on them, you know. We want to like, and we need to get better at dripping. A little bit at a time. A little bit of love is all it takes. Just a little bit of love all the time, kids. Just keep giving the love. Be patient, and don't get frustrated. You know, when my friend Chalet, she used the machine for 30 days. They didn't drink enough of the water, not even by any stretch of the imagination. And quite frankly, that was my fault, because I should have been keeping in contact with them every week, a couple times a week, asking them how things are going, how much water are you drinking? Because when the 35, 40 days was over with, I found out when we went and got the machine back that they weren't even drinking anywhere near enough water. And so, you know, that was my fault. I put that on myself. I should have been better. I should have been, you know, helping them understand what they had in front of them and what they were missing out on and so forth. Hey, Bill, what's going on, brother? Hope you're doing awesome, man. Hope everything's going great for you. Just sitting here yammering on about a little bit of love and things that have been going on for me. And yeah, you guys just keep on keeping on. You know, my friend Jewel, she put out a thing to me. She sent a message to me saying that she was on the verge of quitting this because it's too hard. And I told her, no. I actually sent her a voicemail back and said, no, do not quit. Do not think about quitting. Don't even let that enter your mind. No. There's only one way, you guys. There's only one way that you can fail at this company right now. And that's to quit. What's the old saying? Quitters never win and winners never quit. Do not quit. Do not quit. That's the only way that you can fail. This thing is so powerful. We have the most incredible gift. Anybody that's on the Kong family train right now, right here at this time, and anybody, quite frankly, who gets involved with this thing within the next 2-3 years is going to be in the greatest position, you know, because this thing, you know, like Dan Edlin calls it, the 3, 5, 7, 9 year plan. 10 years from now, you guys, this is going to be commonplace. This is going to be common knowledge. You're going to, everywhere you go, people are going to know about Kangen water. You're going to see Kangen water machines all over the place. It's going to be normal. That's why you want to be busy with this. You want to work this. You want to put every little bit of energy you've got into this company and building your Kangen water business. Don't worry about what happens. Like when Chalet and Steve wanted to give the machine back and they said they weren't interested in purchasing it this time, I told them, no problem. They were all worried that I was going to get mad at them or something. I'm like, no. It's no big deal. We're just tickled pink that you gave it a shot, that you gave it a try. You know, she did actually love the beauty water and the 2.5 water for her skin. And, you know, so that's a start. But I just told her, I said, hey, it's no problem, honey. You're going to have a machine soon enough. You know, we'll be here. I told her, I just hope that when you do decide to get a machine, that you remember who introduced you to it. You know, that's something that Dan Edlin does. And he told me he's had people come and sign up with him after like 5 years. He introduced it to him 5 years ago. You know, whenever you give out a business card, give out that business card and say, hey, you know, this may or may not be for you right now, but you're going to be hearing about this. So do not throw this card away. Keep this card, because, you know, you're going to be hearing about this. You're going to be learning about this. And in a period of time, this is going to be commonplace stuff. And I just hope that you will remember who it was that first introduced you to this, and that you'll give me a call when that time comes. And so just encourage people to do that, because that's what Dan Edlin does. And he's had people call him back after 2, 3, 4, 5 years and join up. And so just keep spreading the magic, kids. We have the most powerful thing there is on planet Earth right here, right now. And that's why here at the Kong family, our goal is to change the world. And we are changing the world. It's happening every single day. And it's happening one glass of hydrogen-rich, oxygen-saturated, incredibly hydrating Kangen water, 9.5 at a time. One lightning bolt in a box, one informative show, one incredible guest, one amazing family at a time. Okay? So stay tuned. We're going to be continuing to bring the value every day, 5 days a week, bare minimum. If I can get guests for Saturdays and Sundays, then I'll be coming in hot on Saturdays and Sundays too. If I have something great that needs to be brought out to the family on Saturdays and Sundays, then I'll bring it out. But you can always count on the Kong Family Show, bringing the value Monday through Friday, live at 8:45. So with that said, do not forget your hugs, kids. Do not forget your hugs. These things are important. You got to give yourself hugs. Yes. And big old HooDeeHoos. Get out there, kids. Change the world, starting with your own. Love you guys so much. Appreciate you being here. Make it a great day. Get out there. Get after it. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.